every time a movie that depicts horror in this nation celebrates it, every time a movie like that is made, somebody directly starring in it or directly related to a star in it has to die.
It's true.
Research it. Every
Sorry, I don't mean to pause it here, but I've shared with you that the Nigerian director in Ghana, every time he released the movie and the movie will become a blockbuster, go viral, will become big, a sacrifice, a young girl, somebody unknown to you guys, you know, somebody in that movie will end up dead. I was in his hotel room when he received phone call that a girl had died, and then the following week they released the movie. But there's so much more to gain from this video, so let's just keep watching. I hope you also took note when he was reading the lyrics of Tupac's song, and he said that his mind is gone. And I shared with you on this page that when the enemy, when they finally comes in and give you fame and come into your soul, you're gone. That's why the Bible says, what does it profit a man to gain the whole world, and you, your mind, your soul is gone? Let's continue. There's so much more to gain.
we want to, we want to be entertained watching demons and monsters and this kind of stuff, and we don't understand that somebody had to die because the enemy was glorified. There was a sacrificial ceremony involved. This is Aaliyah. Sad situation, beautiful young girl, but they got her to play this part in this movie called Queen of the Damned. She played Akasha, who was supposed to be the head of all vampires. And then her plane went down, and they found her in, shrubberies. I think it went down in a swamp. She was covered in brush and snakes and whatever's in a swamp. And she had just shot, prior to that, a video where she was depicting herself in that same situation. But it's just music, it's just music, isn't it? Isn't it just music?
I loved Aaliyah. I was not born again yet. I was still pretty much playing church girl. And I loved Aaliyah, her music video. In fact, this movie he was talking about, I went to the theater in Houston, Texas. I remember we were in the theater watching this vampire movie, and it was so eerie because she died, and about a month or two later, they released the movie, and we were all in the theater, and you can sense something dark in the atmosphere. And within me, I knew something was not quite right about her death and everything. But guess what? I was not a born-again Christian. Spiritually, my eyes were blind. So when we are sharing these things and you go to the comments and you hear certain people insulting us, you need to know that their eyes are blind. They have no understanding. And only those that the Spirit of God has opened your eyes and given you understanding, it's only those few that know what's going on. Nevertheless, we continue to warn the world. Let's continue. He's about to wrap up. Oh, by the way, I needed to add this. You know that Aaliyah was having intimacy with R. Kelly from a very, very young age. So whatever was within R. Kelly, because R. Kelly, it's a public record, he's in prison because of young girls. So whatever the demons, whatever it is that was inside him was transferred to her, because that's how spirits and demons are transferred, through sexual intimacy. And before she blew up and became famous, that was who she was with. That was who made her. The same way that P. Diddy made a whole bunch of celebrity and they made a whole bunch of stars through what he did with them. It's the same thing. That was how Aaliyah came up. So please keep that in mind. And I saw what became of her life, the final result of her life, unfortunately. I was really heartbroken when she passed away. But these are things that the Lord is opening our eyes to know now. Back then we didn't know. We were not Christian. We didn't have the Spirit of God. We had the spirit of the world. Anyway, let's continue. Let's round up.
That's what they want to say, isn't it? I mean, isn't it just music?
And that's that, as you heard him say it. He said that the people will be like, oh, relax, it's just acting. You people are too much, your own is too much. They are just doing music, it's just music video. It's no big deal. Y'all be quiet. You are too do. One of the reasons that I wanted to share this video with you is because as an African, as somebody that's from Nigeria, I know that sometimes we tend to have this, I think it's called xenocentrism. Xenocentrism is when your people, when they say something, you look down at what they are saying. But when a Caucasian, the white, or any other race, when they say something, all of a sudden, you are like, oh, wow, this thing could be real. We have that. We have xenocentrism in Africa. We don't value ourselves. When an African person may be teaching another African person, you're like, I beg, go sit down. But then all of a sudden, when a Caucasian, a white guy start teaching the same thing, I know he's not white, I'm just using it as an example. When they start teaching the same thing, all of a sudden, they get our attention. I wrote my book since, like I told you earlier, since 2020. I've never seen this video before. I only got it yesterday. And everything the Spirit of God was pouring into me was what I wrote in the book. I was trying to avoid showing you the book because I don't want anybody thinking I'm doing promotion. I kept saying, this book, the money that comes from it doesn't feed me. God feed me. God takes good care of me. The book is so that you can give it to a young girl, a young guy that's aspiring modeling, aspiring actress, aspiring singer. Let them know what they're about to get into. Anyway, like I was saying, xenocentrism is when we look down on our own people, we look down on our own culture. When a black or somebody is teaching us, we are like, I better go sit down. We have that in Nigeria. We have that in Africa. You know, I'm not saying all of you have that mindset, but a lot of people do. And that's why they don't listen when someone is speaking and teaching and say, this is what is happening. They don't listen until the Western world pick it up, and then all of a sudden, boom, you notice that the headlines of Africa and all that, they will now pick it up because why? We look down on our own selves. Finally, you know, a lot of people be like, but Joy, why do you keep doing this? The artists, they may or may not be listening to you. You just saw them at Alex's funeral, crying and weeping and whatever. You know, the sad thing is when I saw the pictures from the funeral, it saddened my heart because I'm like, they don't know their next. The young girl sitting there, she doesn't know that she's next. The young guy giving the speech, he doesn't know that he's next. Because darkness make you blind. He said the Bible says the God of this world blind their eyes so that they cannot see what is happening. And I know that because I was once with them. While I was there, I remember when I was with this Nigerian director in Ghana, a random person called me and started telling me, Joy, these people are not who you think they are. Be careful, be careful. Instead of me to take heed to that person's advice, instead, when the director came, I was like, oh, this so-so person called me and told me to be careful of you. I was reporting back to the serpent, not knowing that that person was looking out for me. The same way a lot of these quote-unquote celebrity star, whatever they call themselves, mean nothing to me. They may see my videos, they may see you guys sharing it, and they may be like, oh, ignore that girl. Don't mind her. She's bitter. She's jealous. She's angry. Not knowing that this video are plea. My sister, you are next. You are the next sacrifice. My brother, you are next. This funeral you are in right now, this young guy didn't know he was next.